Hi guys, welcome back to another edition of Friday Facts. Today we're going to be talking about all the necessities that you need to keep in your cage for your pets. Um, this could be anything from water bottles, food bowls, toys, all of those things. So keep watching and I'll show you all the different things that you should keep in your pet rat's cage. And I'll also include pictures as I go to show you some examples of the stuff I keep in mind. This isn't the only options that you have available, but these are the ones that I keep in mind. So stay tuned for pictures as I go too. So obviously the first thing you need to do is find a great cage, which I'll link the video to that below where I show you how to pick out a good cage for your pets. So the first thing that you're going to want, obviously, is food bowls and water bottles for your pets. Um, there's many options for all of the things that I'm going to talk about. For food bowls, you can keep plastic bowls, ceramic bowls, or glass bowls. Plastic bowls, in my opinion, they're okay, but your rats are going to chew on them. They're going to leave little teeth marks, and, as long as that doesn't bother you, then that's a good choice. Um, Glass, in my opinion, isn't a good idea because your rats are going to redecorate their cage. So they're going to shove stuff all over the place, and the last thing you want is them to shove a glass bowl off of like a shelf, and it's going to break, and you're going to have all kinds of problems. So I wouldn't recommend glass personally. My favorite is ceramic. It's heavy enough that they have trouble shoving it around. It's thick enough that they're not going to chew on it. It's very easy to clean. You just take it out, wash it with some soap and cold water, and you're good to go. You do want to keep in mind when you have their food in there, you want to wash the bowls probably at least a few times a week. Some people say every day. You don't want nasty buildup. Chances are they're going to poop or pee in their food bowls too. So definitely check it out every day. If you see anything gross in there, wash the bowls. Um, the next thing is water bottles. Again, there's a couple different choices for water bottles. You can have a glass water bottle, which I've personally never had, but some people recommend them because they tend to last longer and they're a lot easier to clean. And I also hear that they leak less. I don't know how true that is, but it can be a good option for you. I've also heard of a few rats who will find a way to chew through the plastic water bottles, and glass would be a good alternative if you have that problem. I've had 12, 13, 14 rats, I think, and through the years, and none of mine have ever chewed through water bottles, but I have heard of it happening. So if you do run into that problem, I would suggest looking into a glass water bottle for them. I do hear they're a little bit more expensive though, but I'm not sure. You can also keep a bowl of water in your rat's cage. This isn't a bad idea, and some rats love, love, love to play in it, but they'll also poop and pee in it, which is gross. So if you do decide to do that, please change their water at least once a day, if not more. Another thing that you might want to have in your rat's cage is a litter box. Not everybody bothers with this. Some rats just don't want to be litter trained, and no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to do it. My rats, some of them will use it, some of them won't. I just find that at least it helps a little bit with cleanup during cage cleaning. Um, I personally use the ferret litter boxes that are like triangle shaped that'll fit into the corner of the cage, but I don't know if you can see back there, but it's actually not in the corner of the cage anymore because they shove it all over the place. Um, so, I mean, that's up to you. It's an optional thing. I do use a litter box, and I always have. Some rats don't use it at all. Some use it sometimes, and I've had a few that did use it faithfully. So, it's totally your choice on whether you want to use a litter box or not. And I just use Yesterday's News or like an off-brand of that for their litter. So, that's so that's something you can keep in mind whether you want to choose to put that in your rat cage or not. Another important thing too is thinking about where your rats are going to sleep. Technically, rats can just sleep on the floor of their cage, but that's pretty boring in my opinion. I used to use hammocks a lot in my cages, but then my rats would just chew the heck out of the hammocks, and they would destroy them in a couple days. So that got old real fast. I was wasting a lot of money on hammocks and stuff because they would destroy them. So I actually started using wicker baskets, which I'm sure you can see up here and you've seen in some of my other videos. They still chew the heck out of them and it kind of makes a mess sometimes, but it's a lot more durable. So I just hang up some baskets in there and I throw some fleece in there for them to lay on, and they love it. Like, they use all their baskets all the time, and you know, once you start noticing them getting really dirty or really gross or, you know, really chewed up, I would suggest throwing them away. But you can find them a lot of times at your local dollar store really cheap, especially around Easter time. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And you can also use like plastic bins too, but they're going to chew on those too. Just whatever you think you can use. And I mean, hammocks are a good alternative too if you don't have chewers, but I've always had chewers, so they destroy all their hammocks. So I prefer the baskets myself. You'll also want like little hiding places or cubby holes for them. I buy the little igloo things that you find at pet stores. Try to get the bigger ones because rats do grow and they'll get bigger and they won't fit into them tiny little ones you see sometimes. So try to get the bigger ones. You can also make your own out of like Tupperware if you cut like a little hole out of it. I also have a Halloween pumpkin that I use that I just put on its side and they sleep in there. Any of those things that you want to use like that, there's lots and lots of ideas. Just make sure I always put a little bit of fleece in there for them too, but it may not stay there because they drag their fleece all over the place, and even if it looks nice and comfy to me, they're just going to do whatever they want. So I just kind of let them have at it. Another thing you might want to keep in your rat's cage is a wheel. Not all rats will run on wheels. Boys especially can be pretty lazy and they won't want to run. I've had a few that'll like walk on their wheel every now and then, but I've not ever had a boy that actually runs on his wheel. So it's a give and take. I would put it in there anyway because if they do choose to use it, it's great exercise for them. I personally do keep one, especially here when I have girls now. 3 out of 4 of my girls love to run on their wheel. And Sandy is the only one that doesn't because she has that big tumor, but when she was younger, she ran on it too. So make sure you get the big, I believe it's the 12-inch diameter wheel because you want lots of room for them. Because, you know, if they're too cramped, it's going to be too hard on their back to run on the wheel. So you want to get bigger, and I also would recommend getting the solid surface one instead of the little mesh ones. Because their little toes and stuff can get caught in the wires. I prefer the silent spinner, but I'm going to warn you, it's not always silent. I actually had to grease my wheel up because it would squeak so bad. It would get so annoying, especially in the middle of the night when you're trying to sleep. So, yeah, I ended up having to put a little bit of grease on mine, but it's quiet now for now, so fingers crossed it stays that way. I know there's like the little one that looks like a disc. I've never used that. I don't know. I've heard some rats don't like to run on that one. Just look around, see what's good for you. You can buy them online, or usually at your local pet stores will carry the wheels too. Um, the last thing you need in your rat cage is toys. You gotta give your rat something to play with, something to do. You can use anything from bird toys, you know, the ones that hang from the cage in there, and they have like the little blocks. Some of them have little bells on them. They'll push them around, they'll chew on them, all kinds of crazy stuff. You will have to throw them away eventually, but mine last for a good long time. And as long as they're not dirty or wet, or because if they're wet, they can grow mold. But as long as they're not really gross looking or whatever, you can leave them up for a good long time. You can also soak like popsicle sticks in like a juice and throw that in their cage for something fun to chew on. You can pretty much any kind of little baby toy, like the little teething rings, like the little rings that are like strung together, little blocks, plastic blocks, anything like that. Also cat toys, the little balls with the bells in the middle. Those are really good for them too. They'll push them around, shove them around. Mine pick them up, and I find them in the strangest places. I find them in their food bowl, in their water bowl, in their litter box, all kinds of places. Like, I actually have one girl that, like, if you roll the ball to her, she'll actually pick it up and move it out of her way. I think it's kind of annoying for her, but I think it's kind of funny personally. So, every now and then I'll roll it to her, and it gets, like, right in front of her, and she'll, like, pick it up and move it out of the way. If she gets really mad, she'll carry it way to the other side of the cage so that I won't bring it back. So, but it gives her something to do. Um, and again, there's lots of homemade toy ideas too, which I'll be doing quite a few of those in the Quick Tip Tuesday videos. There's all kinds of fun things you can do for your rats to make homemade toys for them, things for them to do, things to keep them entertained. It's great mental stimulation for them because if they're in a cage for a lot of their day, they need lots to do and lots of things to keep them entertained while you're gone. Because I don't think any of us want to be stuck somewhere with nothing to do whatsoever. um, so yeah, you want stuff for them to do, stuff to keep them busy, stuff safe for them. You don't want anything toxic, anything that is easily, like any kind of foam, because they could chew on that and choke or get it stuck in their intestines. So you want to steer clear of anything like that. But yeah, these are all kinds of things that you should think about when you set up your cage. Things that you should have. Things, you know, just to make their life more comfortable and more like home for them, because they're your pets. I mean, you want to spoil them, you want to make them comfortable and happy. Again, sorry, I want to apologize too if I seem a little bit spacey in this video. I haven't been feeling that great. So yeah, sorry. Hopefully next week I'll be back on, you know, track and a little bit more focused here. So, but I did want to get this video out for you guys because I promised it last week. So, yeah, I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do for next week's video. I don't know yet, so it'll be a surprise. So yeah, I don't know. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. So I'm gonna let you guys go, and I will see you next week. Have a good week, guys. Bye.